Welcome back. We are saying this. This is not my first time recording this game, and that makes me sad. See, I previously recorded what was apparently a 2 hour long video. Okay, a 2 hour long video, and apparently I was not capturing video, or I was not capturing the screen. That is incredibly awkward, because the entire point was to get my first, reaction to the actual game itself. This is Heroes of Hammerwatch 2, in case you're here thanks to autoplay or something. I had no idea what the game was when I first booted it up and started playing. I had no idea what to expect. Now I do. And I like it. I like it a lot, actually. So, what is Heroes of Hammerwatch 2? It is... I want to say it's sort of a roguelike. Basically, this is our town. We already have this underway, as I said. Recorded for 2 hours, and unfortunately, we lost a lot of good content in that particular video. But this is the town, and we have... Oh crap! That's right. I have a couple of other things I need to build. Don't mind that awkward delay. That's probably because my computer is struggling with a game that is 200 and some odd megabytes. Yeah, it's that bad. But let's move on from that. Oh, that's not great. So, last episode, we started the game off with a paladin. I knew nothing about what to expect from it, other than that there would be a heal sooner or later. I was correct. Over here, we have... Oh, goodness. Over here, we have the person that lets you distribute the stat points you get from leveling up. This person lets you distribute the skill points you get from leveling up. I'm still not... I'll let you actually see the skill point one. I don't know what the locked bit is. I'm assuming that's for other classes, but that doesn't seem right either. Anyway, during the course of the previous recording, I spoke to a random person and ended up unlocking a new class, the Rogue. I haven't done anything with it yet. I was intending for that to be this episode's focus, but then I went to edit the previous recording and I discovered depression. It's great. Anyway, I need... Oh, right. So, the point of the game, or at least the loop as I currently understand it, we go north from here. We enter a sort of a roguelike mission where we gather resources such as rock and stone and metal, wood, and money that we use here to expand. I wouldn't even call this a town. expand this settlement and its functions. Previously, we made pretty good work of this. The mission that's going, well, this mission, the Dark Citadel. Oh, interesting. Oh no. Yeah, I'll take that actually. Bonus health regen and, well, health and mana regen. I will accept that. Being a very, very small sized game and not very graphically intensive, the load times are quick. I wonder if they could be quicker if my computer wasn't garbage. So, like I said, this is a paladin. Oh crap, alright, sorry. The paladin originally started off with a sword, well, not a sword, a mace and a shield. As you can see, I have expanded the definition of a paladin. Now, crap, that's right. We have to deal with poison enemies, don't we? That's kind of annoying. So, as you can see, this shield has, well, in the lower right-hand corner is the explanation for the symbols. This grants us 7 armor. This is a shield I just bought, and, well, I bought previously. And it comes with 7 armor and 12 poison resistance. Poison can get out of hand. Currently, we're in the forest, which will eventually lead into the citadel itself. But I think there's one more area of forest before we actually get to it. No, I couldn't even actually get into the citadel because the door needs some sort of a key or something. So I went off in a different direction and I ended up fighting a totem boss that had 4 separate stages to its health bar, each featuring different phases of offense. All of them very annoying. Eventually, I was killed and made very sad. Primarily because upon dying, you lose. In order for your character to be revived, you lose a certain amount of gold and all of your other resources. That's brutal because you need those resources a lot. Anyway, as you can see, there it is. So, like I said, originally the paladin started with a mace. I upgraded that because at the time I didn't know that the mace inflicted stun, which is actually pretty useful. I don't think it's as long as the stun from the shield bash, but it's still pretty good. Anyway, I decided to change that because I just wanted more damage, and so I have it. I switched to it was another battle hatchet, yeah. And that one had, instead of, I believe it was 40 damage, 40 physical damage, and 10, what I thought at the time was crit chance. Unfortunately, I was an idiot, and I didn't even read the goddamn thing in the lower left-hand corner. I know what the term for it is. I cannot remember the proper term. Regardless, what I thought was crit chance was actually crit damage. Crit chance has what is obviously a percentage sign. I eventually found this battle hatchet, which is just stronger. And then it also has lightning damage, but I don't know how that applies, because it's, as you can see, it says +7, but I don't deal 57 damage. Oh, I see what's going on here. No, yeah. Okay, I understand. So the 50 damage, it's kind of weird that the 50 damage is the sum of the physical and elemental damage, but it doesn't say that, or it doesn't make sense that the 50 damage, the sum of the other two numbers, is at the top. See, we're still discovering new things all the time. And yeah, it took me 2 hours and however long it's been up until now to realize that. That would explain why it didn't do more than 50 damage with the elemental. At least we understand now. Now, with the shield, oh, as you can see at the very bottom underneath the description of the shield itself and its stats, you'll see shield bash, which is the actual skill for this particular piece of equipment. The shield bash is really good, like really good. I probably should have tried it against the totem, but one, I don't imagine you can stun it. 2, it requires mana, which I was hoarding in order to heal. And 3, I would rather just do more damage instead. As I said, this comes with poison resistance, which those things and another enemy type that isn't currently on screen inflict with wild abandon. I'm not a fan of it, so I'm just not going. I don't know how the thing is. I don't know how poison resistance works. This could be a % damage reduction. It could be a flat damage reduction. I genuinely don't know. Is it a chance to resist being poisoned? I have no idea, which is why I bought the shield in the first place. The other shield worked just fine. It gives me bonus health regen. The reason I have both shields is because I want to swap back and forth between them as needs arise. Primarily, once I leave the forest, I have no further need for poison resistance. So we'll swap to the other shield. Now, yeah, we'll move on to this. I bought this before ending the previous recording. This actually grants crit chance, which you can also increase by investing in dexterity, which is, you see next to the character, those stats. Dexterity is the hand. So, yeah, not bad. I'm also getting bonus. I could have sworn I was getting bonus. I'm not even actually wearing a helmet or anything. If I had realized that, I would have. Oh, that's right. I want to see if. So I can't. Okay. So once we start the mission, we literally can't actually leave it. So I think we can do this, but I don't know what we would lose in exchange. Dying still lets you keep most of the stuff that you get during your run in a mission, but like I said before, lose a significant number of, lose a significant amount of gold and resources that you collected. I lost 1,200 gold, and still I walked away with 2,800. I wish I hadn't died, but Totem's a goddamn monster, and I don't imagine it's going to go any differently than it did before, because, well, that's I'll talk about Carl as we move. But in order to explain the rest of our inventory, hold on. Okay, so as you can see, these are our resources. We have, and it's separated based on what we've acquired this run and what we have stored safely in town. We don't have much stored in town, so and still we're going to die this run as well. So we need to live as long as humanly possible, which is part of the reason why I'm back to playing the Paladin rather than starting with the Rogue as I had intended for the second episode. This is technically the first, and unfortunately, instead of learning with me during the course of the video, I sort of have to give you guys a crash course in the way things work, because I'm basically just going to omit any reference to things that I would otherwise assume you already know. Okay, for a second I thought this is granting extra spell power, which will probably be extremely useful for healing, but it's going to be kind of difficult to swap back and forth between these in actual combat, much less an actual boss fight, in order to even strengthen there's 3 more skill slots, but I didn't see 3 more skills. Anyway, I have the bow because some enemies are really annoying, and I can. So I bought it. It was very expensive. The bow and the shield were around 500 each. So we would have more gold, but I just wanted to see how this would work out. Now, as you can see, the bow itself provides 41 damage and 11 spell power, which should help strengthen our heal. I have no idea if it will or not. We'll find out, though. Underneath that, we have the normal attack, which is quick shot. Fire an arrow that deals 60% of your weapon damage. Then there's power shot, which when you hold the button, that'll be the left shoulder button. Yeah. Hold the left shoulder button to charge up a powerful shot with 3 arrows. The range, speed, and damage of the projectiles are increased by the time charged, dealing up to 100% weapon damage. Or double, because, you know, sometimes the percentage thing can be really annoying. But it's fine. I don't need to get hung up on that. Now, I also bought this battle axe, and I just wanted to see, you know? It also deals 125% of your weapon damage, which is pretty neat because it takes up both hand slots. Oh, this also, like the battle axe, deals 20%, has a 20% chance to inflict bleeding. When this inflicts bleeding, I think it's 22 damage per tick, which is not insignificant. And that's pretty much it for everything we have. And now you get to see how this works out. Okay, that actually went a lot better than I would have expected. we'll have to test the limits of the poison. Now, what makes me think this is a roguelike system? Well, I know I haven't actually explained the skills all that much. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see we have the weapon, the shield, and then 2 skills. You already know what the two weapons do. The first skill is a smash that inflicts damage in a small AoE in front of you. The one next to it is a heal, which heals in a rather large area around you. And you can have, minions or allies of a sort. Good news, bad news. Good news, I know what's actually on the shoulder button. Bad news, it's not the shield bash. That is actually on the left trigger. Noted. Anyway, as I said, you can have minions in the game. Interesting. Very interesting. I still don't fully understand how poison resistance works. I mean, it definitely does its damage normally. Ah, right. We have the extra health regen. Get over here. As we progress further into the run, I have never seen that before. I realized I never actually expanded on the idea or the evidence of this being a roguelike that I mentioned earlier. This is how you know it's a roguelike. Now, these are trinkets that have abilities or grant you extra effects, and you can apparently stack them if you gather more of them, granting you extra effects. Now, the Crest of Triumph itself, not particularly interesting or useful, but at 2, we get extra XP gain, which is tremendous because XP gain is one of the meta things that we keep even if we die. So we keep all of the XP we gained and skill points and stat points that we've gained through leveling up during a run. Then we have Dragon's Claw, which grants a very relevant extra weapon and spell crit damage. And then its further effect at 3 is +3 spell power per vitality. then we have 5% spell Life Leech. Now the Bash actually counts as a spell. So I assume that when we hit with that, and I tend to use it against groups of enemies that I want dead immediately. If I were to use it against them, I'd get pretty good value out of it. So I do like Dragon's Claw. The Greater Ring of Speed is not really that useful. So the obvious winner here is Dragon's Claw, though Crest of Triumph gets a noteworthy mention because of its rank 2 effect of bonus XP gain, which is frankly incredibly useful. Now, that's just one of the roguelike elements going on here. There are occasional things you can find that let you increase your skills or modify them. For example, the heal there is this. The heal lets you actually heal yourself and allies around you. I didn't actually mention that part, but that's the way that works. It heals for a flat 60, and I think it heals for 20% of your maximum health, since that's the most common application. And then it costs 40 mana, and all of these values, including the cost, go up as the skill is leveled up. I can't level the skill up yet, but the cooldown does go down with levels as well. Now, as you can see, just a normal run-of-the-mill heal, right? But as this is, or has roguelike elements, you can also change the skill or grant the skill extra effects, such as being able to deal damage to undead enemies around you when you heal. I encountered that during the previous recording, but there aren't any undead where we're going, so that had no value to me. Now, what did have value? The ability to increase the radius of these. What is the actual name of the skill? Blessed Strike. All the way up to double its normal radius, which is just great. The better the radius, the more the smash. And I like to smash. Oops, don't touch that. Now, I'm assuming it's very obvious what these two things are. Bring up the map. There's a chest in the middle I didn't notice. Ooh. It does not have anything in it. It's a two-handed weapon. And it deals 175% of your weapon damage. So nearly triple. And it stuns. And because it's a two-handed weapon, it has a second effect where you get a ground slam that deals 250% weapon damage and guaranteedly inflicts stun. Okay. I am not upset about that at all. Let's make sure we check this entire... Don't imagine there's any way we could have missed anything. We'd be seeing it on the map otherwise. Now, as you can see, these two hornets are red. These guys like getting up close, but they're still just as kiteable as everything else. Squish. What is that green thing? Beetle scale worth 30 gold. Ah, cute. I used to have a really hard time dealing with these things because I didn't originally utilize the... Get over here. I didn't originally utilize the right analog stick as much as I should have. Now this guy's cart is broken down and, well, you'll see what he'll offer. The ability to just gain any of these by choice, not at random. Ooh, I do need a helmet. What do you do? Hold on. Cleansing iron greaves. Tempting, but not by much. There's nothing special for this though. Mighty long bow with extra weapon power? I don't know how that works. I believe the thing in the bottom left-hand corner is called a key. But I could have sworn there was another word. Doesn't matter. But I don't know how the 11 weapon power works here. I don't understand. Obviously this impacts your damage, but it's not being applied to the weapon's damage. I'm guessing it's providing passive stats that will then affect the weapon once it's actually in your hands. That's the only thing I can think of. That seems... See, I almost got excited because I thought for a split second that was crit chance, and then I remembered the number's too high. It can't be crit chance. But I do want that extra armor and vitality, and our dexterity is high enough to equip. By the way, this also comes with poison damage. I don't know if that means you can actually apply poison. When I hit enemies with the charged battle or shocking battle axe that we currently have, well, not battle axe, but battle hatchet, it leaves an electrical effect on them, but it doesn't do anything. It just appears to be a visual effect with no other purpose than to just be there. I want this. And that. Let's make sure we put that on. Ah, right. The vitality gave us extra health. I think it's actually 20. Not bad. 4 vitality gives you 20 extra health. Go figure. Oh, and then you can see the key for all of it. Yeah, so weapon power would have given us a passive buff, but I don't know how the weapon power actually applies. Is it a flat damage boost, or is it a percentage damage boost? Like with poison resistance, I don't know how it actually applies. Also, all of our trinkets go here. And, by the way, with this being a roguelike, all of the trinkets go away once you either die or complete the mission. We're going to die. That's just the way this is. Also, this is a 2-hour-long mission, and well, yeah, it's going to be a 2-hour-long mission, and we're going to die at the end of it. Spoiler alert. Now here we have our stats, but okay, so 22 poison resistance gives us a reduction of nearly 10% poison damage reduction. And our 67 armor is granting a reduction of physical attack or physical damage taken of 25%. It's not bad. There's also an ability that lets you scale something with your armor value. I remember it. Frick, that's not great. Alright, let's do this. We always kill the archers. Always kill the archers. The green spores it emits also inflict poison, but we apparently also have the what it is. Is it a 100% chance to block damage? Okay, blocks up to 30 damage from most projectiles in a 180 degree arc. It's actually extremely generous. I would have made it like 90. So that's basically like this if I'm facing in this direction. Okay. I've been hit with the spores before when facing that thing, so curious. Get some. And they did all of that damage with a 25% damage reduction. Or damage resistance. Take that. Now, I've never used one of these. I've encountered multiple of them in the previous recording and never had cause to use them because I'm very stingy with my mana use. Even when I picked up Carl, I should not have grabbed that. Now, who is Carl, you ask? Apparently, you have the ability to recruit other people that you come across during a run. Should they, offer to come along with you. Well, honestly, you have no real say in the matter. They will just follow you. But it's fine because they allow you to split aggro, and you can also heal them if you're a paladin. Now, if I were a rogue, which is another reason, like I said earlier, why I'm not playing this, they're going to just die. Because originally, Carl had a buddy that he was with. His buddy died early on because I didn't think to spend a heal to keep him alive. So, when we land a crit, the number comes up in purple. Crit damage is supposed to be, I believe, 165% now, thanks to my, well, it should be higher than 165% with our bonus stats, or the investment into, XP gain. That's what that is. I don't like that there's a 100% Shadow Curse gain. That troubles me. I don't like being troubled. Regardless, we apparently have a 100% XP gain, and the plus is what that represents. I picked up a number of those during the previous recording and had no idea what I was looking at. I also see a wolf at the bottom of the screen. So, as for crit chance, we have a 5% crit chance thanks to our investment in dexterity. And it looks like we can dual wield. That might just be a rogue thing, but we don't have the ability to see just yet. I would like to test out the bow while there's an opportunity and just only a small chance of dying. So let's see, 5%. Okay, the weapon crit damage is now nearly triple. But I could have sworn the crit said 100. It comes and goes too quickly, so. We also have less than a 1% chance to crit with a spell. Now, I don't know if that'll actually affect the Blessed Strike. I assume it could affect the heal. But then I'd have to invest in a completely separate stat. And I don't think that's a good idea right now. Also, you can buy spell books to cast magic. But there weren't any spell books at the end of the last recording, so that's one of the reasons why we don't have that now. And it would actually be really useful based on what I read of it before, which was it was a fire spell, or it was a grimoire with fire magic that apparently also had lightning magic or lightning damage attached to it. So the grimoire itself would actually put a sigil on the ground. The wolf fur. Okay. Would actually put a sigil on the ground that would then, once an enemy walks over it, burst into flames for 5 seconds. Which is not insignificant. Yeah, the crit clearly says 100. I like how there were ambushers and they just popped up. They just popped up and immediately died, or immediately did nothing because I was too far away. Free gold. Die to bleed. Anyway, back to Carl. Carl was one of 2 guys who offered to join me on my quest. And like I said, the other guy died because 1, he didn't have as much health as Carl, and 2, it did not occur to me to actually bother to use my heal to preserve his life. Yeah, we're only critting for 100 actual damage when it says we should be doing nearly triple. Which is somewhere like 140-ish. No, it's very nearly triple, so like 100 and probably 47. Regardless, Carl himself proved to be a tremendous asset. The guy did damage. He did really good damage. I believe he had a spear, so he also had a pretty good range. And being a paladin, I could just let him take on all the aggro and then heal him, and there would be no consequences. This worked all the way up until we got to the boss, who then mowed him the frick down. Mana Stone, the 25% chance to restore 3 mana on kill. And then if we get another one, we gain 2 gold on kill. Oh, by the way, we don't have to equip trinkets. The effect is just always active. So, as you saw, we have massive trinket inventory and we can just collect. And it's great. Did not see you there. See, typically, I'm not a fan of Sword and Core. It's kind of obvious, it's passé, and it's too basic and too boring. But in this game, the shield actually has value beyond just giving you extra stats. We need to go north first. Ooh, hold on, there's a thing up here. Oh, that's the well, that's right. The blue is the mana crystals that restore your mana. Oh, it looks like there's something up here I missed. Oh, right, we also have a dash, but, you know, it doesn't really do much other than give us distance. Anyway, I like this. I actually like this because, as you've seen, if you've been paying close attention, the shield actually blocks damage. Okay, this is the Dark Citadel, but we can't get in because, as you can see, there's an back off. There's an indentation in the door, and whatever goes there, we don't have. And since my zipper is stuck, yeah. That is my second time making that joke. We have to go off and find whatever goes in there. But we won't. We're going to die. And I accept this. I have to say, we are not finding a lot of gold. I'm assuming the reason why... Oh, excuse me. I'm assuming the reason why it doesn't crit for more than 100 is because part of our damage is being resisted. Man, just having that 0.5 regen is tremendous. Actually, we aren't getting extra armor from that as well, but not that. The other shield, Alright, we need this. Alright. Oh, I took it off. There it is. Now we'll have less armor and everything, but we'll swap back to the other shield after this little test. I want to see if there's a very clear difference in how much damage we take, or if just having so much extra, well, just having this little bit of extra health regen will change anything. Oh, right. And this allows you to modify your skills just a little bit. Oh, so that's where that came from. Okay. So, With this, you also gain extra health and mana regen for a short time, equal to, the amount or the number of stacks of that buff you've acquired, starting at 25% and going up to 100. Apparently, as part of our passive, we have a chance to just block 100% of any damage at I believe it starts at a base 5% chance. Or I could be wrong and just making it all up. I don't know for sure. While you are below half health, your spells cost less. That would actually be tremendous for the boss fight. But so would getting my health and mana regen doubles if I could get 2 more of these. These are both really good, and I see actual value for them beyond dealing with trash mobs like we've been doing. That one. Because right now we're not going to be going below 50% health. So why then would I bother with getting the heal if I don't anticipate needing the, healing? Trying to keep an eye on the big picture rather than focusing on what sounds cool right now. I noticed we took a lot of damage there, and that bothers me. North is the Citadel, that's right. So we have to go this way. I also want to test out the Great Axe and really. Come along, man. Get yours. Regions seemed about the same. I think I'll go ahead and swap back to the other one. Oh, by the way, we also have a potion we can use to heal with. It heals 100 health and mana, and we use that by pressing the Y button. I didn't know that during the boss fight. All the way, even after we first acquired it, I never bothered to test it or figure out what button it was on. Why? Because I'm a paladin with a heal, and I never encountered any. Well, okay, we came close to dying twice, and I mean, we were like between 20 and 1 health. Close to dying. And I lamented not knowing what button the potion was on, and still never bothered to try and figure it out until the very end of the episode, or the very end of the recording, where I was back at the settlement, and the potion just automatically refills instantly. Okay, so here we are now dealing with most enemies are going to be larger and thus more dangerous, and there are going to be goblins, which are a significant nuisance. I have not encountered a lot of people on this run. There were so many more in the last recording. There were so many more. I wonder if I can use a bow to single out one of the goblins. I like the part where he's just saying ow while being shot in the face. Okay, so it's basically a shotgun rather than 3 successive arrow shots. That's not great. I mean, we're testing, right? So why not? Now, you can just barely see that between these two things is a piece of string. That string, that's not great, sets off an alarm bell or a chime or something. And literally the only way I can deal with this, and it does what you think it would do, which is summon nearby enemies. Sounds great, right? Anyway, apparently, I learned at the end of the recording that if I invest in the hunter, I can bypass traps. I did not realize how much damage that shield was taking. That's crazy. So, in this instance, 175% is not triple. Maybe it is. Hold on. Stats. Triple your weapon damage. We don't have... I guess we have main hand damage. It's not right, right? Right? Man, using the rogue is going to be a nightmare. I can already tell. Which, like I said, is part of the reason I went back to playing the paladin. I mean, it was only part of the reason. But, yeah. I mean, I did also want to just show off what it's like with the paladin before we swap to the over here. Before we swap to the rogue for the next episode. appreciate that they stop moving when they prepare to shoot. 30 poison resistance. Don't mind if I freaking do. Crit for 163 there. I forgot that it also stuns. I originally thought the boar needed space so it could charge you. I learned that was wrong. So very wrong. Right, I can follow up the mallet smash with the... Get out of my way. With the blessed strike. Uh-huh. Maybe poison resistance also reduces how long the poison takes for? Gambison. Just 20 more armor. Ooh. Weapon crit chance and weapon life leech. Not particularly great, but it's at the very end, so it's fine. I don't like this. Enemies weren't in here last time. I do like the smash and bash. Oh, right. We also need to break these boxes. Because it can turn into resources. Gold and wood, specifically. Also, there are occasional obstacles you can just smash with your weapon. Though that hasn't been a common thing that's needed to be done. So, it's just something useful to have in the back of your head at all times, but nothing you really need to focus on, trying to make use of. Mage. Let's pull as few of these as possible. Oh, there's also a plant over there, huh? So that's what's behind the tree. I thought it was a cluster of bugs. Oh, right. I also put some points into another skill that lets me gain 3% of my mana when I hit something. I don't remember what the odds of that are. Okay, so... Oh, okay. So Armored Knight is a passive that increases our armor by 5 and the 5% bonus, with a 20% chance to block 100% of physical damage taken. Now, Conviction is the other thing that I got during the previous recording, where I have a 10% chance to recover 3% of my mana when I hit something. And I'm never not hitting something unless I'm explaining something. I critted for 232 with the Heavy Strike, or whatever the alternate attack is for the Mallet. Now that I have the bonus armor, I technically don't need the shield. And the same goes for the poison resistance. We now just... Why? Why? Just why? Oh, but there is also the possibility of a griffin appearing and allowing you to just cart off a portion of your resources and send it back to town and safely store it so it doesn't get affected when you die. Squish. You squish real good. Yeah, that's right. I did that to them. And I'll do it again. See, I would do it to them. Just dash in and smash, but... well... Oh, the 20% chance to stun triggered with the weapon's basic attack. Now, I've seen this area before, and I saw the enemies in it, and I was terrified, so I just walked away and missed out on whatever might be in here. We're not doing that again. I wish I had Carl. Don't need mages. Get out of here with your mageness. Gold, and I don't know if XP dropped on it. Rejuvenating Frost Staff requires so much intelligence, I just can't. I think we have 2. It's fine because the equipment we also keep when we die. So, you know, there's that as well. So we can do these runs and further gear other characters. We're at 45% of level 4 and we've been going for more than an hour now. Our intelligence is at 2. That is not great. But having that is. because it gives us a reason to actually use the wizard, which, to be fair, I wanted to use to start with. But good lord, am I glad I started with the paladin. Because this is not easy. I mean, it seems it looks a lot easier than it is because I've done this already and I know the enemy's pattern of behavior. But once we finish this mission and we have the next one, I won't know the enemy patterns if they aren't these enemies. The wolf was getting blocked by the wasp, which was not doing it any favors. I'm sure they're arguing in the underworld right now. Just 500 XP, huh? Okay. Yep, I'll take some of free equipment. Not as good as the one I have. Bonus to fire damage. No. I probably am going to take that for the extra armor, because why not? That one. And then I can sell old stuff that I don't want to use. You know what? Let's actually switch to this. This weapon also has fire damage, even though its basic attack damage is much lower than the mallets. Damage. Took extra damage from something. Okay. Just... well, you'll see what the alternate attack of this weapon is right now.
That skill is no friend.
Ta-da! I become a blender. And it's pretty great. Apparently it consumes a base amount of mana and then continues to consume it after, well, during the effect. Oh. Just keeping an eye out for... Ooh. That'll be useful for the wizard, or mage, or whatever it is. So, hold on, that is something. And there's apparently a way to get to it from over here. Blessing of Protection. Minus 50% damage taken. But it's a... I wanted to say it's got a limited duration, but that does not seem to be the case. Maybe it's based on the number of hits you take? No. Hold on. This weapon deals barely above the damage this does. What? Look, this does 100% weapon damage. This deals 125%. I guess. Actually, that does make sense because this thing's weapon damage is, its total damage is actually 47, not 50. Not great, man. Not great. Oh, by the way, it is... Actually, the thing is ticking down, but it's not the golden ring around it that's ticking down. You can see it's actually the color in it that's ticking. So our 50% damage reduction is currently paused. Blessed Strike, Purging... Okay. Now see, the last time I played, the Blessed Strike was augmented for dealing lightning damage that would chain between enemies. But now this one is creating a flaming AoE. Okay. And then, as I said, there's this one, but it's not as good because there are no undead we're dealing with right now. And even if we were dealing with undead, I probably still wouldn't get it because it just doesn't serve a real purpose if you're staying away from them and kiting up. It seems to have the exact same attack speed as the mallet, but deals less damage in general. Though it does have the blender mode, so, you know, if you're aching for DPS and you've got mana to burn, which I technically don't, if it doesn't kill enemies... Oh yeah. If it doesn't kill enemies quickly, that's another trap. Actually, do we want the XP? Yeah.
I can't do that yet.
I think you can set enemies on fire as well. And they're too busy. They were all apparently stun locked by the DPS. Yeah. So the fire damage actually... Okay, so the fire damage on the weapon actually applies the burn that you would expect from the fire element. But one, it's literal single digit, the lowest possible damage aside from none at all. But I mean, it's still health that they're losing, right? So I'll take what I can get. And apparently, getting hit by that also stun locks them. And also, the mage is a little smarter than I would prefer. So I now have a weapon that inflicts bleed at a small chance and fire as well. Well, the tiny amount of burn damage. I think it does like 3 ticks and then it's done. No, 1 tick. Oh, I think I understand what's happening. When I hit an enemy with the weapon during the blender, I also can't get to these guys, which irks me tremendously. And I could break some of that, but ultimately it comes to nothing. We're about to enter the cave. So, the entire point of me playing this right now, this isn't actually what we're going to be doing a playthrough on. I've got 2 games I'm waiting for, and then from there I'll decide which of them I'm going to be playing. I barely remember either of them, and I, for the life of me, can't remember their names. But don't worry, I am actually eager to play them, looking forward to them, that sort of thing. Okay, we've got 2 traps here really quickly, and I want to trip them for the extra XP. We're healthy enough. We're built, we're strong. No fear, just fight. Oh, that's unfortunate. By the way, there are cave-ins, or well, not cave-ins exactly. Rocks occasionally fall from the ceiling and just hurt you. Now see, Life Leech would actually be really useful for this weapon. I have... oh. I was going to make the joke I made during the last recording that I was given clinical depression, since I don't know what the icon itself actually means. Let's get in there and mess things up. Ow. I could use the potion, but I won't.
That skill is not
Get over here. Spell slinging rat. Yeah, literally can't go back either. Okay, so there are people over here. Let's see what they have to offer. These guys are probably going to join us. Okay. Okay, since it's the weekend and I have the ability to do this, I'm actually going to call it here for this episode. And I might actually be able to do this. No, well, I wouldn't be able to turn off the PC, which would then cause further problems if there would be a power outage for any reason, which is a terrifying possibility. But I would have the actual old recording, so even if see, the issue is if the power goes out for whatever reason, we would probably lose all of our progress. That means the items, the equipment, the XP. That's kind of rough. Regardless, that is going to do it for us today. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. We will be back tomorrow with another episode. And like I said, this is not going to be a long thing. I'm just doing this because, one, I picked it up from Humble Bundle for free a couple of days ago. And I just got a quick glance at what was going on in the game, and I loved it. There were spells being flung, effects galore, and yeah, we're here now. Also, this is being run natively from the PC, so I don't know what the performance of the actual video is going to look like in terms of FPS, or frame rate, I should say. But hopefully we don't have any issues of, well, hopefully we don't have any OBS related issues, and I can actually just edit the video and send it out rather than experience yet more clinical depression. Aside from that, again, this, like I said, this won't be something we play very long, but it's to get us from the end of Crimson Desert, which was great. Absolutely loved it, aside from my complaints about it in that video, which I will leave there. And whatever the next game is going to be. And like I said, whatever it happens to be, of the two that I have my eye on. I'm excited to play it. Which is kind of an awkward way to say that, but here we are. And so, with all that said, we will see you next time.